This is an easier way to weld these up than not. Pretty neat, just a little tube. Would imagine that that planet I'm going up there towards has an atmosphere. Why does it need repair? That's disconcerting. That was stupid of me. Hey folks, and welcome back to Survival Records. Today I'm gonna get started on salvaging all of these ships that I have pirated in the last episode. My newly upgraded Ion Salvager here, which I've had a couple of nice recommendations for names for her, and I guess I just I don't know. Ion Salvager seems to have stuck. Anyway, let me go ahead. I'm going to grab the ion thrusters first out of here, and then I'm going to go ahead and get them loaded into the inventory of this ship. And then I think what I'm going to do is actually use the ship to weld up these remaining ion thrusters that need to be built up still. So, yeah, that'll be fun, and here, we can do a little bit of a time lapse for you. Well, that's going to be janky, but this is an easier way to weld these up than not. What in the world is an Ubumbu? Can I... Why can't I control that? That's frustrating. Anyway, let me grab this guy again. Just welded up the last of those ion thrusters there. And let's get a better view of what that thing is. Camera 6. Well, it's big. Although, I mean, oh man. No, okay, so looking at the scale, that's a small thruster there. Am I right? Okay, I've got plenty of things I'm working on now already. I don't need this anymore, I don't think. Okay.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
That was frustrating. Is this gonna... Okay. Now, let's go ahead and keep working on grinding all this stuff up and getting it into my inventory, my main supply there. Although I might do the math and figure out how many of these small ones I need to make a large one. 80 each, and I need 960 here, so that's what, 12 of them? Well, 4, 8, 12. I could probably replace one of my hydrogen thrusters back here with another large ion thruster. I think I might do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. How do I want to do that, though? Because this is not... Let me get the grinder ship. Salvager here. Let's take out this middle one. Taking out the middle one's gonna make it so those two side ones are no longer supported. But if I take out this block, I'm directly next to that one. I suppose if I want to keep that solid, I could put in a junction there. How would that look? Actually, I think that would potentially look pretty neat. Just a little tube sticking off the side. Let me grab some parts for that. Let's get 2 of them. And like that. And then the same thing over here, just facing the other direction. Alright, now I can transfer those across. Where's the thrusters? There they are. Number 8. And number 8. You know, I could probably color it the right color while I'm at it. And over here. Alright, now take this out. Put it in. Okay, that one's done.
Inventory full.
Alright, and now I can take this off. Which is liable to take quite a long time. So, let's just speed it up. Alright, so with that gone, let me Oh, you know what I ought to do is I ought to get rid of this. Get it out of the way so I can use that connector. But I suppose I can just connect inside to dump off this load. Because if I put a welder on the back of this again, I can just work on getting that. Here we go. Do I have any inventory? I do. Alright, so on the back of the ship here, these are 2x3, and I'm in a 3x3 spot. Oh, I could put it like this. I could then maybe get another one in here at some point when I have more thrusters. I like that. That's not bad. Alright, and now, so that's going to be sitting there. I'm going to be working at grinding away all of those. I'll get the salvager ship back, and then I'll weld that up. Yeah, cool. Alright, all the materials for this should be in here. Yeah. There we go. Now, I just need to see how are there any more thrusters on this thing? I don't think so. I think I've got them all. Alright, so no more thrusters to salvage. And all the remaining thruster components are in here. Which means there's 80, 160. I could do 3 more thrusters. I think I'm going to I'm gonna not be too risky. I'm gonna hedge my bets and not put them in. Although, man, one could fit right here so nicely, right? Yeah, so yeah, I just gotta change up the blueprint again, and then, yeah, make my decision. Alright. Last time I had a trouble with the connector and the welder. Where's the welder? There. They had things in them. I'm making sure they don't now. Alright. Now I'm going to... I may as well grab these motors. That's a ton of motors in 2 large word. A ton of motors. Over 2,000 in 2 fairly complete large atmospheric thrusters. I would imagine that planet I'm going up there towards has an atmosphere, and I might want to have a ship that goes down into it. And the easier I am at, the better I am at being able to make one of those things. Yeah. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Ooh, I should get some oxygen. Pretty sure I have extracted everything off of this that I should have wanted to. So let's do... Great. That gun is not off. Ah, alright. Stop wasting bullets. Alright, what was I trying to do here? I am no longer in need of this chunk of metal, so let's give it a push, and see it ne'er again. Haha. Alright, now what were we up to? We were looking into this gravity drive that this ship has and considering installing it into our ship. So, if I understand gravity drives correctly, you can either have multiple gravity generators or multiple artificial mass blocks. This ship seems to have elected to have 4 and 4, 8, 12, 16 in its configuration, and it was a kind of a tiny ship. At least tiny compared to mine. Mine might be considered tiny compared to some as well. Parallax Pioneer. All kinds of... Oh, okay, let's drop the sensitivity on that one. There we go. Ah, more big ships all around me now. Cool. Let's get back to full mobility, and I'm going to start looking about in the ship, see if I can figure out how and where I want to do this. I'm thinking I have an idea. Yeah. I'm looking at the situation a little here, and I think if I put the gravity generators there and there on this side, and then on this side, you know, the same 2 spots, I could then modulate their fields so that they only reach out to like this distance. I could then have this whole space up here filled with those artificial mass blocks, and I promise you it was just coincidence that I have only recently cleared out the batteries from back here. But then the other thing is I had never really planned on the 2 corridors here, right? One of them was supposed to be going one way, the other the other. Sneeze break, excuse me. But like, I could do the corridor the way here, keep the air gap around the hydrogen tanks. Why does it need repair? That's disconcerting. Probably because I bumped into it with the ship here. Anyway, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to do it. Mass blocks in through here. But the thing that, the idea that's tickling my brain here is these mass blocks are going to be heavy to move. They've got 9 gravity components each, a bunch of superconductors. And then I've got, you know, this is going to be a little heavy. I might do this cluster in the back with the salvager, but I'm like looking at this chunk of them here, and they're all kind of in a row. Oh, and by the way, I think I miscounted earlier. Oh, no, that's another gravity generator. And another gravity. This one was relying on multiple gravity generators, not so much the mass blocks. Ah, man, I don't know. I mean, even just one mass block and one gravity generator will start moving the ship. But what I'm thinking is automate the salvage of this stuff. Build like an arm out here, and then grinders on the end of it and grind up all that stuff, is what I'm thinking. I just have to figure out how to do it. It kind of makes sense to do it, right? Yeah, I'll figure. I'll do that. I'll just have to figure it out. Yeah. More weird ships coming in. Alright, let me get to it. Thinking... yeah. Okay. So... pretty straightforward here. I've got an arm on a hinge, and it's gonna go... I'm gonna put some grinders on it, and I'm gonna have it grind and move through this. Lined up about on this block, so I need to put a grinder out 2 blocks on either side there. So, like this, maybe? Oh, if I put it like... no, like that. I should grab some parts. So if I do 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, that, no, can't do it like that, because then this is going to get in the way. So I've got to do it like that. Yeah, like this. Now I might not need to put the grinders, fully every row. Let's see, I've got build vision. I can visualize their spheres. So they grind basically just within their own block, but anything close to that. Yeah. So I will probably need to do a full row of them all the way across. Okay, that's simple enough to do. Just gotta do it. Okay, just got those all welded up, and that should fairly handedly slice through this midship section, getting all these mass blocks in. But, I was thinking before I do that, before I turn it on, why don't I also lay out where everything's going to go in here and put in some strings of welders to see if I can get them automatically welding up. I think that'd be pretty cool. Turn them both on at the same time. That'd be neat. Alright, let me get to it. Alright, let's put the gravity generators here. Let's orient them so the touch control panel is down. There's not room under here. So that, and that one rotated again like that. Alright, and now mass blocks. let's fill in this area here. A welder can reach in, get a single row. That's simple enough. 3 like that. Three like that. Then if we have the welders running down through the center here, that would get everything there and here as well. Yeah, I think I'm liking this. Okay. Let's lay out some welders and see where we are. I wanted to reorient this welder anyway. Right, cause it's connecting from above. And it doesn't necessarily need to be facing that way. I suppose it sort of does. Okay, me waffling back and forth isn't gonna be very entertaining, so why don't I figure this out and I'll bring it back when I get an update. I think we're ready to start. Where is that hinge? Hinge 2, which... Where the heck is it? Oh, there's a hinge in the cockpit next to the... Probably not this one, because it's off. This one's on, just doesn't have any speed. Alright, so if I give it some velocity... Nope, nope. Stop that. Other way. And very little torque. Just enough to get it starting to move, if it wants to move. And now, let's go for those grinders. Oh, there's all these grinders that I don't have access to. But all of them that I do have access to and can turn on, I'm going to turn on. Hey, check that out. Alright, I want to get a better view of this. Or is it just not moving? Because it's not moving? This didn't injure itself at all, did it? Torque. Okay. Alright, there's that. Now, let's get these welders turned on. Let's turn on all the welders. Alright, let's take a look again. Yeah. That was stupid of me. Okay, so first of all, I didn't reach it all the way across there, like I should have been able to. Stupid of me. I should have checked. Look at all my mass blocks are all built up already. No, but these didn't turn on. Did this not? For some reason it wasn't on. Okay, those are going. Okay. Oh, alright, let's... That has some... Okay. Let's set its upper limit, or lower limit. Let's just set its velocity to 0, because it doesn't need to go anywhere. Zero. Okay. Now... rebuild it, and I can put a hinge part right there, and connect this hinge. Okay, there we go. That turned it back on like I expected it to. It's no longer moving. Well, at least these parts didn't get lost. They just got misplaced. So here's something interesting. These gravity components, just 63 of them are 12,000 liters. Which, I mean, I'm filling up this large cargo container here, so kind of figure out why. Raw iron is way more compact. So, okay, 1,000 steel tubes is 41,000 liters. How much iron do I get from 1,000 steel tubes? Let's check production here. Assembler. Let's turn it off so we can do some testing here. So 1,000 would give me basically 1,000 more iron ingots. Doing one would give me 10. Yeah, I don't know. Must be some loss in there or something, maybe. Anyway, back over here. I really need to get... Okay, that's important. These components occupy a lot more space than these raw materials do. I think that I'm going to have to turn on the ability of my Izzy's inventory manager to deconstruct. So the auto crafting. That's on disassembling now. Looks like it's choosing superconductors to begin its disassembling with. I don't know why. Ah. Wow, look at that workload. That's a lot to disassemble. Okay. Man, I suppose I should have checked if it's true that the ingots are... Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. I'll regret it if it's not. Hey, so here's the table I built up. We've got the components listed on this side, their mass in kilograms and their volume in liters. And I then went through and laid out on this area the kilograms needed in order to produce one of the components, right? So then this row at the bottom is the volume of one of the components. So, for instance, here we got these gravity generators. They require 220 cobalt ingots, 600 iron ingots, 10 gold ingots, and 5 silver ingots. That all equates to 57.59 liters of space compared to 200 liters of space that each single gravity generator requires. So even on the most extreme end of things, the volume of the raw materials is typically far less than the volume of the completed constructed material. And that's what this column here shows. So let me hide these so we can get this information a little more straight up. So the only exception to this is if it's better raw. Better meaning is the volume occupied by the raw materials smaller than the volume occupied by the completed material. It's across the board, the volume is better, except if you're using the 1x efficiency. And that's this setting right here on your assembler. The assembler efficiency, realistic, 3x and 10x. The only exception is for reactor components, and the only reason is because of the gravel. The gravel compacted into a reactor takes up less space than the gravel outside of a reactor. And it's 8 compared to 8.66. So when your assembler efficiency is 3x or 10x, it's always better to have your stuff in raw material form. Now, that's not true if you are looking at your mass. Your mass of the raw materials is 23 kilograms for the raw silicon compared to 15 kilograms for the component. And here's where the assembler efficiency setting really starts to kick in and matter. With the realistic assembler efficiency, you always the mass of the raw materials is always higher than the mass of the completed material, the completed component. In 3x, you have a slight mix here with solar cells, radio communication, metal grid, detector components, and computers. It's slightly off that. And by the way, the number here can be divided by 3 to get the answer for this. The number can be then divided by 10 to get the answer here. So when you're using 10 times 10x assembler efficiency, then no matter what, you're better off keeping your materials in raw material form, raw ingot form. Whereas if you're using 3x or realistic, you have to seriously make the decision between when you're using an assembler efficiency of realistic, you have to choose, do you want to carry a higher volume of materials, or do you want to carry a higher mass of materials? And this mass is added to your ship's mass, which affects its ability to maneuver. So, interesting stuff, I think. Anyway, back to the game. But anyway, let me wrap it up there. I've gone ahead and redesigned this here. I had an extra cargo container just because I was running low. Figured it doesn't hurt to have a spare one. But yeah, I have fixed up everything on this side, and I have nearly taken everything I want. I want to grab these because those do have rarer resources in them. Even if I'm now not keeping a full stock of all the parts, then the sources of material is still new to me. I'm stumbling over my words because I don't know where the heck. There it is. This thing went to. Alright, so I'm going to grab the last of these, but that's going to do it for me for today. And I will see y'all next time on Survival Records, and thanks for watching.